The cast of Les Miserables and Dame Shirley Bassey headline at the Royal Albert Hall in 15 minutes. It's where we're heading for the Classic Brit Awards 2011.
Welcome to the Classic Brit Awards 2011 in the presence of Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cornwall from the Royal Albert Hall in London. Featuring performances from Il Divo, the company of Les Miserables with Alfie Boe and Samantha Barks, Catherine Jenkins, Anne-Sophie Mutter, Alison Balsam, Eric Whittaker, a musical tribute to John Barry, and Dame Shirley Bassey. Still to come, performances from Catherine Jenkins, Anne-Sophie Mutter, and Dame Shirley Bassey.
In a moment, the legendary Dame Shirley Bassey joins our homage to the extraordinary John Barry with her personal tribute to his wonderful family and this wonderful composer. Dame Shirley is surely known as the UK's most successful female artist ever, and I, for one, cannot wait for her performance. But first, we must say farewell from the Classic Brit Awards 2011. I'd like to thank all of our performers, presenters and nominees for making tonight such a special occasion. Thank you. I'd also like to ask you to show your appreciation for the London Chamber Orchestra and our conductor, Christopher Warren Green. And now, to close the show, it's my very great honour to introduce to the stage a true global superstar. Dame Shirley Bassey is the only artist ever to have recorded 3 James Bond theme songs. Tonight, she'll perform one of those best love hits from the 1964 Bond film Goldfinger with Stuart Barr conducting. Please, would you welcome to the stage Dame Shirley Bassey.
Goldfinger, he's a man with a Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin. But don't go in. Golden words he will pour in your ear, but his life can't disguise what you feel. For a golden girl knows when he's kissed her, it's a kiss of death from Mr. Goldfinger. Pretty girl, beware of his heart of gold. His heart is cold. Golden words he will pour in your ears, but his lies can't disguise what you feel. For a golden girl knows when he's kissed her, it's a kiss of death from Mr. Goldfinger. Pretty girl, beware of his heart of gold. His heart is cold. He loves only gold. Only gold. He loves gold. He loves only gold. Only gold. He loves
welcome back. Bond themes, show tunes, the star of a well-known advert. Not what you'd necessarily expect at the classical music industry's big awards ceremony.
But they all featured in the event last night as part of the rebranding of the classical Brits as the Classic Brits. Organisers are worried the word classical is stuffy. Maybe bad for business. David Silito takes us through the winners and losers.
The red carpet, the posh frocks, the fans. This classical version of the Brits may not have quite the star power of Kylie or Lady Gaga, but it does have Wyn Evans. He's just had a #1 album.
I was from a very kind of normal operatic background, really, of very kind of just quite straight, if you know what I mean. And then this mad world opened up, really, then, and so it's been fantastic.
All from singing
2 words, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say on the BBC, am I?
Oh, go on, let's go.
Okay. Go compare!
Yes, that advert has made him a star, but he's not complaining at a time when classical sales have been in steep decline.
This has always been a celebration of the popular end of the classical market, but this year, classical has become classic. The Classic Brits.
What does that mean? On stage, the big performance was from the cast of Les Miserables, and the man playing Jean Valjean, Alfie Boe, has strong views on the topic.
A rock song can be classical, a pop song can be classical, so I think Les Mis stands in that category too.
There are those in the classical world who'd feel very uncomfortable by ideas like that, aren't there?
Yeah. To hell with them.
And the star turn was Dame Shirley Bassey, a Bond theme to commemorate the late John Barry. Film scores, crossover, musical theatre, they're all fine. But classical?
When you hear the word classical, immediately there's a sort of stuffiness, if you think, if you like, about it. And I think that's the last thing that classical music genuinely is about now. It's just a shame that one name can almost do so much damage.
Of course, serious, brilliant music was honoured. Arvo Pärt was named Composer of the Year. There were awards too for Antonio Pappano and Alison Balsam. But the word classical here is history. David Silito, BBC News.
Joining us now, fresh from last night's awards, 2 of the winners, conductor and music director of the Royal Opera House, Antonio Pappano, and alongside him, trumpeter Alison Balsam. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Really, you should both be asleep. What time did you get in last night, Alison?
It was about 3:30.
And Anthony?
No, I was okay. 11:30. I was.
You got some
You're
more.
a bad girl.
What did Anthony miss?
Well, there was lots of celebrating, certainly in the EMI camp last night. So we had to, we just had to celebrate.
Well, you've done brilliantly coming in for 9 o'clock this morning, and we really appreciate it. And congratulations to you both. It must have been a fantastic evening and great to be recognised again, because you won back in 2009, didn't you?
That's right. Yes, it certainly is, because it's such a big event. It's such a spectacle. So many stars were there, and as you were saying, it's been renamed the Classic Brits, which I think is fantastic. It's actually a bit more honest to what it really is. There's a classical element, but there's also, of course, Dame Shirley Bassey was singing, and so it really celebrated many genres without kind of pretending it was something it wasn't, which made it a great success, and I was more proud to be involved last night than ever before.
Antonio, you were a winner last night as well. What did you win?
I won for Best Male Artist of the Year, something like that. Yeah. Male Artist of the Year, yeah.
Fantastic. And you were saying a moment ago, when Shirley Bassey took to the stage, in the light of this sort of conversation, this debate about, classical music and whether it needs to lose some of that stuffiness, you said the audience just loved it.
Well, she transcends categorization. She came out, she sang 2 notes, and the whole place just changed, the temperature. And that kind of star quality, it doesn't matter. Then you don't have to put somebody in a category. Star quality is a very special quality. Very few people really have it, and she has it.
What do you make about this rebranding? Is that, as I'm saying, the celebrating the classic rather than the classical made you, more proud last night. It encompasses more. But a lot of classical music aficionados will think, why should it be changed? Why should it be sexed up, so to speak, jazzed up? You know, classical music is something to be valued, and we shouldn't bow to people who think it's stuffy.
Well, I think, as Alison said, the show itself, the Classic Brit Awards, was clear what it was. It wasn't all about classical music. I wish we had more core classical performers on stage. I mean, Alison was the only one who performed, well, and Sophie Mutter. But I wish there was more of that, because I think core classical artists are also very sexy and very exciting and have star power. But there's a need for easy listening too in what's happening to classical music. Classic FM is addressing this, the need to take classical music in little chunks. I think the idea, though, is to go further. I think classical music, the core classical repertoire, is perhaps not easy. It requires concentration, it requires stopping and thinking and listening, but the emotions are very strong.
We're looking at you conducting here, is that right? Well, that's not actually you.
Yes, there I go. There I go.
Now you're sitting down.
You know, I was experimenting with. I usually stand up. I was having some back problems, and sitting down made them worse. But,
really?
I found. But.
And here's Alison taking over. And I can't tell there whether you're sitting down or standing up.
I was actually sitting down because I was 6 months pregnant.
So both of you are experimenting with the seated version of your performances.
I think this might be a sort of a rarity for both of us.
Yeah, no, I don't do this anymore.
And Alison, on the subject of the sort of, it's often seen as a polarising thing, isn't it? Either you like classical music or you like other stuff. I mean, it's just not like that, is it? Because I'm sure you have very eclectic tastes. I'm sure you
do,
must do.
but I think it's kind of amazing how much it's sort of focused on, you know, classical music being this and other genres being that. I think it's so irrelevant. I think there's good music and there's bad music in all genres, and I think, as Antonio was saying, you know, Dame Shirley, she transcends this sort of pigeonholing. It's just about being a star and bringing the music to life. And that's what we're all aspiring to do as well as possible. And it doesn't really matter.
Thank you very much, both of you, coming in. You get a special award for having been up at 3:30 and here by, whatever it is, 8:30.
We were just saying, we're doing a big report on hay fever tomorrow. Alison, it would be a nightmare if you had hay fever because you're a trumpet player. But Antonio, you're a sufferer.
I'm a sufferer, but I don't sing. I just tell other people how to sing.
Bad for you at the moment?
Terrible, the worst.
So get in touch if it's affecting you as well. Lovely to see you. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you very much.
Antonio and Alison. Antonio's album, Rossini's Stabat Mater, and Alison's, did I pronounce that right?
Mater.
Stabat Mater. Stabat Mater. And Alison's album, Italian Concertos, are out now.
And you can watch the Classic Brit Awards on Sunday, May the 29th, 10:30 p.m, ITV1.
That is all for us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning, BBC One at 6 o'clock. Have a good day. Bye-bye.